Most of the species from the Earth's 4.5 billion year history are now extinct. You'll be amazed to learn that some of the animals that lived back then never became extinct. Here is a list of the top 30 prehistoric species that are still alive today. Alligator snapping turtle. This one looks like a dinosaur in a swamp. It is the sort of thing you'd see in Jurassic Park movie. The creature in the picture does exist, although it's not as big as it seems. That's not to say the alligator snapping turtle is small. Weighing more than 175 pounds, it is one of the world's heaviest freshwater turtles, with a shell that can exceed 30 inches. Some experts estimate their existence goes back more than 150 million years. Komodo dragon. You will find this creature in Indonesia today, but that is not where these iconic lizards originated. Scientists recently unearthed a series of Komodo dragon fossils in eastern Australia dating 4 million years ago. These gigantic lizards can weigh as much as or more than a human. In fact, they have been known to attack people. Despite their size, these giant reptiles kill prey easily. They just throw some venomous drool, watch and wait. Lampreys. Although these prehistoric creatures have an eel-like appearance, they are actually jawless fish. They've got one of the most frightening mouths in the entire animal kingdom. The orifice has a funnel shape that contains sharp teeth used to bore into the flesh of their prey to suck out the blood. Only certain species engage in that behavior. Their fossils have been dated back to 360 million years, and they seem to have evolved very little in that time. Bactrian camel. You may already know about the prehistoric one-hump camels once used as transports in the Middle East, but did you know that they evolved from the two-humped Bactrian camel, which still roams the wilds of the Gobi Desert? Bactrian camels, which look like a cross between the Chewbacca and llama, evolved to withstand temperatures below 0 Fahrenheit and above 100 degrees Fahrenheit some 2 million years ago. Its two humps are used to store fat, which the camel breaks down into energy and water to sustain it during long dry periods. Horseshoe crab. These arthropods also managed to outlast the dinosaurs. Experts have indicated the crabs date back some 450 million years. The horseshoe crab has pretty much remained unchanged since then. The strange-looking creatures have a hard carapace that protects their body. While they resemble crustaceans, they belong to a different subphylum. You'll be amazed to know that these critters have a total of 10 eyes. Wait, there's more. Horseshoe crabs have blood. The ultimate fact is horseshoe crab blood is used by the pharmaceutical industry to detect bacteria on new devices such as pacemakers and vaccines. I bet you didn't know that one. Give the crab a thumbs up down below, then come back for more strange old-timers. Platypus. These strange animals were very poorly understood. Some of the 19th century myths that came up concerning them, for example, are the metromenes that inferior to quasi-reptilian still hold. Modern monotremes are the survivors of an early branching of the mammal tree. A later branching is thought to have led to the marsupial and placental groups. Molecular clock and fossil dating suggests platypuses split from Echidnas 48 to 19 million years ago. The oldest discovered fossil of the modern platypus dates back 100,000 years ago, during the Quaternary period. Goblin shark. Sometimes called a living fossil, it is the only existing representative of the family Mitsucrunidae, a lineage that is 125 million years old. This pink-skinned animal has a distinctive profile with an elongated flat snout and highly protruding jaws that contain prominent nail-like teeth. It's usually between 3 and 4 meters long when mature, though it can grow considerably longer. One such shark was captured in the year 2000 and measured 20 feet. Indeed, a prehistory Reddit story in waiting. Echidna. Echidnas are amazing monster creatures that look like the product of a badger, a porcupine, and an anteater. They're monotremes mammals that lay eggs instead of giving birth, just like their famous relative, the platypus. These animals can also be hard to find in the wild since they're small, mostly nocturnal, and live a spaced-out and solitary life. Several species of echidna are also highly endangered, a sad fact considering the animals have been roaming the earth for 17 million years. Vicuña. One prehistoric animal known for its fiber is the vicuña, the ancestor of the modern-day alpaca. The two animals look very similar indeed, though vicuñas have a distinctive color pattern. They have a white underside and a brown saddle across their bodies. The wild ancestors of the alpaca are native to South America. The family Camelidae first appeared in the Americas 45 to 40 million years ago. Fortunately, thanks to the work of many dedicated conservationists, there are hundreds of thousands of vicuñas in the wild today. Polar bear. Most of us are familiar with the iconic polar bear. If you think about it, they look like something that could have wandered in from a glacier during the last ice age. Actually, polar bears are a lot older than that. In 2010, scientists used a fossilized polar bear jaw found in the Arctic Norway to establish that the animal lived more than 120,000 years ago. Cassowary. Cassowaries are about the closest we get to a Jurassic Park velociraptor. These tall, colorful, bipedal birds have a huge slab-like ornament on the top of their heads and sharp, dagger-like clawed feet. In fact, the birds have been known to attack and even, though rarely, kill people. Ratites, like cassowaries and emus, have been around for around 60 million years. These days, you can find cassowaries in northern Queensland and Papua New Guinea. Coelacanth. It was once believed that these rare fish joined the extinct animal list some 65 million years ago. However, in 1938, they were rediscovered off the coast of South Africa. It turned out this animal was even more resilient than originally thought. Through this discovery, experts believe the earlier coelacanth evolved into the current form 400 million years ago. The fish has an intracranial joint, a hinge in its skull that allows it to open its mouth extremely wide to consume large prey. Ctenophores. These rare wild animals showed up some 700 million years ago. They propel their gelatinous bodies through the water using rows of cilia or cones. Biologists claim these are some of the oldest known creatures, which means humans could have descended from them. I hope we enjoyed the same longevity as this so-called living fossil. Wonderful displays of color X-ray photos give an insight into what these creatures look like on the inside. Sea sponge. Researchers have found it difficult to calculate just how long these mysterious creatures have been around. But the oldest fossil was discovered in a rock which was around 750 million years old. Sponges are more abundant but less diverse in temperate waters than in tropical waters. This is possibly because organisms that prey on sponges prefer tropical waters. Glass sponges are the most common in polar waters and in the depths of temperate and tropical seas. Their porous surface enables the sponges to extract food from these resource-deprived waters with minimum effort. Muskox. It's a wonder how these animals have survived, but it is estimated they've been around for 129,000 to 187,000 years. Currently, there are several thousand musk oxen in Alaska, though their populations have been declining. Musk oxen are valued for their meat, and about 260 animals a year are killed by hunters. They are also a tourist attraction, a target for their horns which are turned into artwork, and for their soft wool called quivit, considered the world's warmest wool due to its weight. Can you tell them apart from the bison? Hit us up with a comment. Chambered nautilus. A chambered nautilus normally lives in the deep sea around Australia and Indonesia. However, at the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California, you can see the ancient creatures up close. These alien-looking corkscrew-shaped animals are among the oldest in the world. Their fossils have been dated 500 million years ago, and they looked exactly the same as they do. Babirusa. Babirusa are just like your everyday slightly irritable warthogs. However, their males have gigantic tusks that grow through their snouts and curve back towards their heads. In fact, for some, the tusks pierce their foreheads. Babirusas appeared in Indonesia cave paintings some 35,000 years ago. Today, there are several tour operators offering Babirusa watching safaris in the Nantu Forest and Tengkoko Natural Reserve in Indonesia. Wobbegong shark. The creatures, which live on the tropical Pacific Reef, camouflage their flattened bodies, frilly edges, and unique patterns on the algae-covered rocks. The sharks, which have been around since the Miocene epoch era, are still found in different species. A few Wobbegong shark attacks have been reported, but there have been no fatalities, and it's likely that the injured parties just accidentally stepped on them or got too close while diving. Most are too small to harm people. Tapir. Like Babirusis, tapirs also resemble pigs except for one key feature, a short elephant-like proboscis that they use for roping food into their mouths. While tapirs look like pigs, they're actually more closely related to horses and the rhinos. In fact, tapirs have a long, proud history in the fossil record, having first evolved in the Miocene epoch era as late as 23 million years ago. They've evolved into numerous species since then, although today there are only 5 remaining tapir species left across Asia, Central, and South America. Lake sturgeon. Speaking of old fish, another amazing aquatic animal to check out is the lake sturgeon. This ancient fish actually swam around with the dinosaurs, having appeared some 150 million years ago. It still swims around the United States today. Lake sturgeon have no scales, only rubbery skin, and a few rows of bony scutes. It can to over 7 feet long and weigh 300 pounds. Let me safely walk you through the top 10 prehistoric creatures that are still alive. Caribou. Caribou look like they walked straight out of the Ice Age, and indeed they did. These unique animals evolved as long as 2 million years ago. Caribou were already present by the time humans arrived and were a big part of people's diets. They still are for native Alaskans. Females' antlers aren't usually as big as the males. The caribou keep them throughout the winter to guard pits in the snow where they preserve their food. In the springtime, the redundant antlers drop off. Alligator gar. From its name, the freshwater alligator gar is one fish you don't want to fish while swimming in the southern United States. Even though they don't attack humans, these fish are scary as their namesakes, alligators, weighing up to 300 pounds. They have flat snouts full of razor-sharp teeth. This interesting animal also swam with the dinosaurs and is believed to be 100 million years old. Today, one of the best spots to see alligator gar is at the Tennessee Aquarium. This channel is the safest spot to see gatorfish and all of his old buddies. Siberian musk deer. These are the real and commonly called vampire deer due to their scary denture. In fact, the animals are strict herbivores. Siberian musk deer aren't endangered yet, but they're getting there. They're often poached for the medicinal odoriferous musk, which can fetch a high price on the black market. It would be a shame to see them go extinct, especially considering they've been around for some 3.5 million years. Sandhill crane. These tall, beautiful birds have long legs that stick far out behind them when they fly. This makes their silhouettes resemble a pointy-tailed dragon. And while they're common and not often seen as ancient birds, they actually are. The oldest fossil of a sandhill crane is at least 2.5 million years old. Each spring, the cranes migrate en masse to their Arctic breeding grounds. Kearney in Nebraska is one of the biggest stopover points. Over 500,000 birds will gather there at one point in time and fatten up in the cornfields for the long journey ahead. Walrus. With their long whiskers and bulbous couch potato shapes, walruses can sometimes resemble some of your family members. They're also perfect snorkelers of the seafloor, vacuuming up clams, crabs, and anything else that happens to be wandering around down there. Walruses, which date back 600,000 years, spend most of their time hanging out on ice floes. From May to August, they can be found on the shore in huge concentrations referred to as haul-outs. It's here that their big tusks come into play as the males fight for control of groups of females. Stick around for the top 5 prehistoric creatures that are still alive. The jellyfish. Scientists do not agree on how long jellyfish have been lurking in the waters. A broad estimate places the species' appearance 500 million years ago. Experts also think that jellyfish are the first and oldest metazoans, multicellular species, that developed after the unicellular creatures known as protozoans. The Asian jellyfish is a 10 million year living proof of incredible adaptability. Tuatara. They might look like your everyday iguana-esque lizard, but don't let the superficial appearance deceive you. This ancient reptile is believed to have existed at the same time as the dinosaurs, some 225 million years ago. Today, the tuatara's body contains clues of its ancient history. Indeed, they have a primitive third eye on the top of their head, although the adult's eye is covered with grown-over scales. Scientists believe this is an archaic sort of light sensor, which the reptiles use to set their daily and seasonal biological functions. Gharial. Crocodiles, caimans, and alligators are ancient species, and they look the part. But the gharial crocodilian species, sometimes called a gavial, would beat them all in a prehistoric beauty contest. Gharials, in one form or another, have been around for tens of millions of years. The modern gharial is the last remaining species of his lineage. This too is heading towards extinction, with fewer than 200 individual reproductive gharials left in the wilds of India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Chinese giant salamander. But first, do us a favor. Click that like button to inspire us. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell, and you won't miss any interesting videos. Done then? Let's go. Salamandroids was the first species of Diplocalus to be discovered. With the head of a stealth bomber and the body of a salamander, the Diplocalus was an unusual creature that roamed ancient waterways even before dinosaurs appeared. The triangular skull helps this creature race through the water at top speed. An amphibian, this ancestor of the modern salamanders, could also slog through muddy swamps with its short legs. The Chinese giant salamander, which is an estimated 170 million years old, is also the largest amphibian in the world. It can grow up to 110 pounds in weight and 6 feet in length. Whale shark. The name whale shark is a bit of a misnomer. This animal is not a whale at all. In fact, it is the largest shark, the largest fish even, in the world. What's more, it's been swimming around the ocean for at least 28 million years. These gigantic sharks can be found all along the equator, but seeing them isn't as simple as their presence suggests. Since these animals are endangered, finding them even while out on the water is a tall order. Give one thumbs up for the shark and another for the whale shark. Which one did you find the most amazing? What would happen if all prehistoric creatures had survived extinction? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Like always, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comments section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on to never miss a thing. Until next time, do take care of yourself.